M. Arumugam, Managing Director of Broadline Technologies Private Limited, will be presenting us an interesting topic on emerging opportunities for entrepreneurship. So please.
Good afternoon. And it's a pretty tiring end of the session. I'm here to speak about entrepreneurship. When I was first consulted about taking this topic, I was very comfortable and happy. But yesterday, having come to this function, I saw most of your anomalies are entrepreneurs. And what makes me to feel little, I don't know what to speak, how to take it, and all that question arose in my mind because of the fact it's like, selling halwa to the Tirunelveli men, Well, what is entrepreneur? Entrepreneur, there is a whole lot of thinking goes around. It's an innovation. He must be very innovative, and he must possess knowledge. There is a lot of difference between knowledge and innovation. Innovation is one that it comes itself, it's an idea, and you build over it. Knowledge is one that you have to acquire. These are basis for an entrepreneur. With these two, you will have to run into a business. And what are the other factors for a business? It needs a team. Entrepreneur must have a successful team. In my experience as an entrepreneur, whenever I had not a very worthy team, my efforts have failed. So the most important for an entrepreneur, choose the right team. And of course, entrepreneurs are basically leaders. Once, among 5 or 6 in a team, one will definitely come forward to do something. So I was going through a lot of dictionaries to find out what is entrepreneur. It says it's an activity of setting up a business and taking on financial risk in the hope of a profit. So this is what I found most suitable for an entrepreneur. So, coming to failures, what is failure? See, unless we have failure, we can't be successful. My little experience, in India, why we lack entrepreneurship? Largely because we are afraid of failures. Every time our parents say, hey, you really want to do business? Why don't you get into a job? My father first advice for me is to go in for a job. He was inculcating this in my mind from my engineering onwards. And he always wants to work because he thinks it's safe. And he even wants me to be an engineer in the electricity board. And he wants me to write a civil service. So this is a tendency. We are worried. If my son, you start something and if you fail, I don't think I will be able to support you. So this is a problem. We don't allow ourselves an entrepreneur. So, I would call failures are nothing but lack of success. It's a simple neglect or omission of whatever that is required for an action. So, let us make it simple. It's not just failure. Calling it a failure, getting into, wound back and not getting into the entrepreneur spirit is not really worth it. Then, I would like to say, first failures after failures will define into a success. Only failure makes success. Nothing in the world comes easy. If you look at the history of most of those inventors, and they have gone through an enormous amount of failure to find the first success. So we must allow ourselves to face failures to create a success. Once you are successful, then the progress will start going through. Unless you get into the success mode that comes from failure, then it carries on your progress. So this is a very important spirit. Let me come to Indian scenario. I would like to talk more about Indian scenario, what really happens in India. A lot of entrepreneurs are getting into business, in startups. Of late, a lot of startups in India is quite common. And 90% of them fails. 90% of startups fails just because we are not innovative. India might, I mean, there is a hope. India, we will be the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, but we lack innovation. I'm telling you, most of the startups that are coming for IPO or angel funding, I always see it is just a copy of what is successful in the Western world. Now, Flipkart came, it's nothing but what Amazon did. So we are not creating innovation and original ideas. Indian startups also lacks technology. The technology which is the basic driver for all the business. So we'll have to put a lot of effort in creating technology to build a unique business model. This is very, very important. And lack of skilled workforce, as others, the panelists also were talking about, Indian workforce are not very skillful. We see, it's very difficult to get a carpenter or plumber, but we get an engineer easily. Why? Because we are not really skillfully turning our society. Then inadequate mentoring is not there. That's what yesterday and today I have been seeing. See, when in Annamalai, your alumni, many of them turn to be mentors. So successful entrepreneurs should visit back to their institution on a regular basis to build industrial training. We need this very much in India. Unless we do that, even those guys who are trying to get into business, they will not be properly mentored. So, basically, if you look at it, we do a lot of fakes. We don't get it with the originality. We try to copy something. Somebody brings it. See, there is any equipment which I bring in from if it is famous, next 3 months we get out of one of the Ludhiana shop. We just fake a lot of things. I tell you something. In 1994, I had an opportunity from the Chief Minister's office to build a health system for Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu health system was in deep trouble. I just left my job in World Bank. I came to Chennai. So they requested me to build a health system for mainly drug distribution. What really happens those days, doctors were prescribing, but the patients are not getting the drug. So drug and essential medicines were not available. So I did a 1-year work and built a beautiful system called TNMSC, Tamil Nadu Medical Services Corporation. After I built this system and implemented in Tamil Nadu, we have saved our expenditure by about 30%, and service level has zoomed from 30 to 94%. And it was marked and appreciated by WHO and the World Bank. Today, it is the system the whole India is following. Not only that, the whole Africa, Clinton Foundation has taken around the world. But unfortunately, after doing all this amount of work, my work has been copied by one of the central government agency called CDAC, and they are marketing now. They got a GO from Government of India that they are a government company, anybody can place order. So what happens is, copy. Any original idea, keep getting copied. So these are all main failures for business in India. So basically all of them, when they start an industry, they become more survival driven. They just want to make money and acquire wealth than creating value to their company. See, I have seen the distinct difference between an Indian entrepreneur and an American entrepreneur. That large difference I see. They are more value oriented. They have been creating more value for the company. They just always take part in the company as an employee, or they may be holding the chairmanship to deliver their ideas. They never stop and good idea. But here we try to own, we try to take a lot of financial freedom, and we try to go out of huge expenditure, showing off, and all that is happening. So I have seen Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, or Mark Zuckerberg. They all you can see they have a simple life and they have only passion. They are always seen building work around their passion. The money comes automatic. So young entrepreneur can definitely follow this kind of model. So basically, the low business cycle, we all have low business cycle because we are not been taught business in our engineering school. We are just taught engineering and just we come into business. So we accept ourselves, I've got low business IQ. Try and improve how we can improve our business IQ. So that's very important. Entrepreneurs' failure largely happens on the low business IQ. So we drive only for money. So every success is driven through money, not through their products and its perfections. See, how to be focused? See, great entrepreneurs, history, if you look at it, they are all very, very focused on whatever they have done. They never deviate. What really, in Indian scenario, if someone is very successful, he will be doing a product very well. If somebody comes with an idea, then the whole of this old product, he will leave it. He will start looking at the new product, and which he will not know fully, and it will take years for him to develop, but he will start defocusing from what he is good at it. So this is a very common problem. This is our, one of our, problems. We will have to definitely go through. So genius is the ability to focus on a particular thing for a long time without losing concentration. Einstein said it right. So we got to concentrate on whatever work that we are going to take it up. Then fear for failure. This is always there with us. Anything that we do, there is an investment of about 5 crores for a project. We will spend 5 crores and product may need another 1.5 to 2 crores. That is where we will start thinking. So I spend a lot of money. There will be a lot of problems. Boardroom, there is a lot of fiery discussion. Either they will stop the project or they will sack the man who has been doing it. But they won't enhance the budget. They won't enhance the budget. In fact, my experience working with Digital Equipment Corporation, my CEO will come and sit for all innovation projects. I was in the research and development of Digital Equipment Corporation. My CEO comes and sits. CEO sits meetings of very high importance, but research, he sits all the time. All research meetings he will come and sit. So essence of this is perpetually to service the society. Society is important. Your humanity is important. What you can do it. So every entrepreneur has to think, what is the value for the humanity? The moment you think what you can deliver to the humanity, eventually your projects are mostly successful. It never fails. Amul is the best example. When Amul was started, there, Korean was going through humongous trouble. Everybody was started putting pressure on him. But he had a strong feeling, I'm not going to leave this poor woman who are bringing the milk. I'm going to do it. And I was talking to him. I had a rare opportunity to talk to him during my visit to Ahmedabad. And he sat with us and spoke about his personal experience, the will. He had one vision that he wants to create a great milk company, and then that vision turned into such a strong, views for him. He stood against all the negatives, and finally he made it possible. So you don't worry about what is that is going to happen, but be positive. Things will happen good as long as your vision is written in proper way. Then of course, a large amount of entrepreneurs are poor money managers. We just have to decide what is your recurring expenses, what is your daily expenses. Try to plan very clearly, because don't you do it yourself. Have a professional to do it. So much of the companies I am talking about in India, everything goes to the chairman or the CEO to this, or the owners to give a call. We are not professionally managing it all. So professional management, these two all to be very carefully looked at it. I have seen all of them acquiring, the moment an entrepreneur is a little successful, he starts acquiring wealth for his own and trying to build other things, leaving the company. This is what is happening. Today, most NPAs, NCLT, more companies are going to be referred. All of them have got the same problem. I have moved with one of the top power company chairman. He used to be doing about 77,000 crore. He used to call me, I am acquiring 2 Rolls Royce for my Britain office. I traveled with him to the Rolls Royce company to see how they really make it. But I always wonder, this man is spending for big palaces and everything, but not focusing his business. Today they are on winding up stage, going through badly. That is why we don't create companies like Tata. They have a clear professional management. They just don't do it for themselves. So there is a huge insecurity among our own entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are very highly insecure. Only I will do. This is largely I have seen. I can only do it. I will only do it. My fellows can't. They may confuse. Let me have a look at it. Stop all this. Leave. Understand and trust people. Leave them to decide. We must have more a team. Otherwise, we can never be a team player at all. I have seen most of them running to humble way of running the company is all because it becomes myself. In fact, for me, I am turned out to be an entrepreneur was an accident. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I was just working at the World Bank. I just have to come back to India to look after my parents. I have no other work. I started a company and slowly I learned. I have done all these things. Whatever I am saying, I have done all these mistakes. I am learning. So I just want the young entrepreneur. Please don't follow this. Try and do it. Create visionary companies. So failure, after a complete failure, you can start again. Start again. There is a lot of hope. Even at 67, you know, Edison's lab has been fired and he was gutted and he was nothing. He was zero on the road. But everybody said, what happened? You have lost everything. But Edison was very cool. He says, whatever I have lost is my half-done work. Now I am going to do everything new. After that only he found the electricity and host of things he has done. So let's not worry about it. We can start again. So always live with a complete confidence. So Jack Ma, you all know, this guy has been I mean, if you look at his life history, it is so sad. When he went for interview, among 24 people went for interview, 23 got selected and he was sent out in KFC. So everywhere he had a failure. And he didn't write a single line of code. He has not written a single line of code and he has used a computer at the age of 33. Such a man, it turned a company which is one of the largest companies in the world. Everything is possible. You know the way Chinese talks? You know the way Chinese talks among, you know, if you ask a China man to present today, you must have a translator. Otherwise you will not be able to understand what he talks, but he still talks in English. So we have tremendous English, we have an excellent body language, we are an outstanding people, but why would we not going through? We'll have to analyze. And same, this boy has started a company, he's an Agarwal. He started a hotel, you know, he just copied the typical US startups. He started a hotel company and he did it, but poor team, poor financial management, he failed. Again he changed the name to Oyo, used all that failures and turned out to be a successful one. So that's why I brought this guy. I mean, he has been failure and turned out to be successful again. So he's another guy. He's actually from the REC, studied in REC and IAM. And this Mustafa, his father was a coolie. He started a small company out of his humble earning, and today he turned out to be a very successful man. You know how he does? He does the flour, you know, idli maavu. You know how he does? His only technique is very simple. His value addition, his IP is so simple. He had a thick plastic cover with a thick base. So what happens, every plastic cover, what others make, you got to peel it off, put it into another vessel and you'll have to do dosa, idli, whatever. But his thing, you just open the zip, it is open and you can keep taking it and start using it. So the woman need not have another vessel to do it. That simple IP, he has turned around. Possible. I think Genome, I would like to talk about areas which are really sweeping the whole world. Anybody can get into this genome research. It's not, you don't think that it's something to do with biology or biotechnology and so on. Engineers have got a huge area to work around. And when I was going into the genome lab, one gentleman has turned the human genome code, which is running into several billion lines, and he has carried the whole lot of his printouts of all that. If you read it, ATCG, it will run like this, all the code. And he picked up one book, which he calls it 52nd volume, and opened up its 340th page. He says this ATGG is all right. So his eyes will be brown, it is not black. So he was started moving one volume and says the physical characteristics of a brain. And he says in one volume, the particular ATG series, a reverse series, both he has compared to me and said, this man would have been a completely, Down syndrome. The child would have been Down syndrome. This is a normal child. The code difference is just half a line. A few, letters have been jumbled here and there. It is a phenomenal area. Particularly India, we have huge opportunity to work. So I'm trying to run very fast because the time is going very short. So coming to robotics is an emerging area. Don't think that we are running into human robots. Human robots are impossible. Still we have not touched the tip of the iceberg. We are only evolving. I would like to suggest to all of you, we can create lot of robot-driven applications. So the scenario is 30% of the workforce is going to be robots. The whole world, the 30% of the workforce is going to be robots. We are calling CTO. Now we are going to have a post called CRO, Chief Robotic Officer. So Chief Robo Officer is going to be the next generation employee. From 2019, we are going to see 30% of all the manufacturing function will get into robots. Of course, I have, these guys are the unsung heroes. They did the Chernobyl when the nuclear explosion happens. These three men, they know they will die. They jumped into the water, opened up the grid valve that sucks up all the water. Otherwise, it would have been one of the greatest worst disaster in the world. It would have swept the entire Europe. So they three have jumped in. You know why? They don't have a proper robotic valve. This is what it is. Now it is defined. It is done. It is actually done in Gujarat. You must all appreciate. These things are done in Gujarat. So I have been traveling around the various jugaad. Various innovations. India is doing very well, but I think South India is losing out. I don't know why. We are losing out. We have to start building a great deal. We have to sweep over everybody in the world. So look at this guy. This is a few slides for your children. See, this boy could climb up, okay, and stands like that. You must know he can climb down. You don't have to keep insisting your children that they should adapt what you say. Allow them to do what they want. Please. One more thing, you don't give fish to your children, allow them to fish. They will know what exactly they want to do. So, I think my time is up. I have a lot more things to speak. Thank you for this opportunity.